So, can you talk to us about the stages of funding for a startup?
Yeah, so the stages are very simple when a company is conceived, and then he is in a pre-seed stage, uh, you know, what we call his idea stage, and he needs money, and then he moves certain people uh, who are in the brick and mortar. And they would like to generate revenue before they approach investors, because investors would be most because the idea is not unique, right? So they will not fund it at pre-seed stage. So you have pre-seed, then you have revenue. You can have pre-revenue also, but again, you can have a seed stage as at a pre-revenue stage also. So you have like pre-seed, seed, pre-revenue, revenue. Then you have growth stage, which is when your cash flow will start to you attain market fit, the product market fit, and that's when and in the seed stage you might have built like a wireframe or what you call is a minimum viable product, something like that, which is like 20% of the total functionality or 30%. So that you don't want to build the whole thing because you might have to pivot several times. So you go to this growth stage where you have built considerable amount of product, you're generating revenue, you have no cash flow issues, orders are coming in, you're not able to manage them, so you need more funds to execute the orders. Sometimes, you have $1 million to execute, but you don't have the money to execute 100K kind of money to execute the deal itself. And that's when you want to raise more capital. So that's your growth stage. And then you go into a pre-series, which is like 70, 80 crores raise. And then $10 million is like the entry stage for Series A. And then A, B, C, D, which will be like 10 million, 25 million, 100 million, 150 million, 200 million.
Wow.
And then you will go to unicorn stage. So you will be like you yourself is $1 billion company, right? So you would be still raising money because you're in a market cap. Your revenue could be $200 million, $300 million, but you would be raising money for larger goals and objectives. And then you will go to IPO, public offering and all that, and you will become a public company then. And then then each of these stages, you will have some investors moving out. People who dream small, they might move out very quickly, where people who have gotten themselves in and believe in the company and the idea and the founders, they'll continue to remain till then, till they make because this is like a unicorn journey is like 7 years, sometimes 4 years, 5 years. It's shortening every day. But then 7 years and 7 years, 14 years, two times you can get into a deal uh, you know, after 14 years, I mean, if you are in your 50s, you will be like, 64 and all that. You can still get into a deal, but you may or I don't know, you may or may not want. And 7 years is like a good optimal period, but it could be 10 years, it could be 15 years also, depending upon the sector and all that. So it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to get in with your money. It's not easy. I mean, it's more difficult actually. If you start to think of it, stocks and all that, you can get in, you can come out, you can experiment, certain things. Here it's absolutely dark. So you have to have both very huge respect from both sides, founders as well as investors.
So the
Yeah.
exit strategy is either 4 years or 7 years for an investor, or can they select their own exit strategy?
Yeah, yeah. Exit strategies, yeah, they can always select, but some of them could be played with, let's
Okay.
call it this way.
Okay.
So somebody bought 25%, or let's say 10%, or 25%, let's say. And then suddenly that company started doing well. So the people who got him this deal, it could be like any of these venture houses. Now they will like him to sell that because they know that this is going to be big bucks now. But they will never tell him because he will not have that market info. So they'll say, we will give you this kind of thing. I think it's a great exit for you. Take it because right now it's doing well. But actually, they know it's going to do very, very well. So this guy will be robbed off his 25%. So that's his exit. So you have to be So there's a dark side to it is as well. For example, but you should know whether this company will become a unicorn. And if that becomes $1 billion, chances are it will become few $1 billion, 10 to $20 billion. And if you're holding like in the beginning, even 2%, and things are doing well, people will like to take you out of the deal.
Mm-mm.
They will offer you three times what you had invested, but it's not the three times, right? When you are like investing 1 crore for let's say 5% you picked up, or even 10% you picked up, 2 crores you put in, and that becomes $1 billion deal. I mean, $1 billion is like, then the 10% is like in multi millions.
Mm-hmm.
So many people will say that in the middle that is the right time to exit. So they will ask you to exit, or they'll force you to exit also, because there are bigger guys. They want, I wanted this 2% of this guy. I'll ready to pay four times to him,
Right.
because they are seeing the larger picture there.
Yeah.
This guy is not able to see at that time, because internally it looks a little different to the
Okay.
external. So yeah.
Well, how does the small investor keep on
But my
track?
advice is that, but I'm sorry to complete the point, is that uh, you need to understand the sector, you need to
Mhm.
understand the company, get the inputs, the growth, and all that. And you should be very careful in exiting, because, as I said, it's a one-time opportunity. It will happen two or three times in your lifetime,
Right.
not more than that, because of the years and all that. So 10 years, 15 years is only one time. So if you have dug in so deep with your savings and all that, if you're an angel, especially, if you're a serial player, then it's more the company that is taking risks. You have other people's money to play with. That's a different scenario. But in this case, it's a one-time thing.
Right. No, because I personally invest in stocks shares, and I was very surprised to see a share of Netflix or Spotify, 1,500 US dollars. No, I was very surprised. So people who were invested when at the start, say $10 or $15, they would have made massive returns out of it. Huge returns.
So 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 that is like at $10, it became $1,000. It's a
1,500.
multi-bagger. So
1,500.
100x, right?
Yeah,
In this business, there
100,000.
are 5,000x, that kind of thing. So
Oh,
this is
5,000.
like mother of, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Wow, wow.
So imagine so $1 billion is like, $1 billion is like 8,000 crores, or 9,000 crores.
Okay. Okay.
And when this company was valued at 9 crores, you picked up at approximately 10% of the company, around a crore you put in. So at 9,000 crores, 10% of the company is 900 crores.
Wow. Okay. Have you seen
So
any
it's
companies in your lifetime
so
uh,
so so so
touch
so
a
just
billion?
just imagine. I'm sorry, my math is not so great, but let's say one becomes 900. So that's 900x. That doesn't happen in
Okay.
stocks. That can only happen in this business.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing.
So
Okay.
500x, no, there are, I mean, for example, look at all these big unicorns that we have. We today have 60 or 100 unicorns between that number. I'm not very good in numbers. I don't go after numbers these days, because I'm building product and all that. So I'm gotten into the thick of things. But we used to have like every year 60 unicorns, and it was growing. So you would have 100 unicorns. So imagine 100 unicorns, and then decacorn, so $10 billion. So you have
Wow.
100. So $1 billion is
Okay.
9,000 crores. The
Okay.
$10 billion is 90,000 crores.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Okay.
and then you could have 100 billion also. Who knows?
Right.
At
Right.
least India has not reached there, because the most Byju's or any of these companies went was 22 or 25 billion dollars.
Okay.
We haven't hit $100 billion till now.
Okay.
And then you have Tesla and all that, who have $1 trillion market cap. Some
Right.
of these companies reaching $1 trillion, because way back in our times when we were doing networking, Cisco was supposed to be the first $1 trillion that would have hit, but it missed that mark. And now most of these companies are reaching there.
Okay. 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 So walk us
So
through this.
$1 trillion is that $1,000 billion.
1,000 billion. Wow.
Yeah.
Huge. Huge. Huge.
That
Huge.
is $1 trillion. Yeah.
Right. So walk us through this. I'm a founder today. How does Fund India change my fundraising journey step by step?
So yeah. So in the beginning, So deal room is where you will get all the things that you need. I mean, expert, mentor. We are also there as a company there. So whole of TD Venture is also there for you in in uh, in in deal room. So you can connect with our staff there, and as a staff is the same. They work both sides actually. So we will provide all the things you need. And then every journey is different. So when you are at the seed stage, you have to knock every door. But when you get to other stages, there is a lot of sophistication involved. You need to have a RA, some kind of guys who will value you. You have to spend money in a lot of places in order to get yourself ready for an IPO. There is a process, SEBI regulations, checklist, compliances, and all that. So those are not there in the beginning, although you should have everything, but then you're not so big enough that somebody's going to cause so much damage to you. And then in certain areas, the kind of content you show or kind of people that you're allowing to post and all that, you'll have a lot of regulations, what kind of post, videos, especially for children and all that, they're very sensitive. So, there's a lot of GDPR issues and all that, so on and so forth. So the point I'm trying to make is that um, as you build your technology, it gets complex
Mhm.
and more compliances. So even if you become a fairly good company to reckon with, the kind of content or kind of thing that you're doing, demand and supply connection, it has its own set of compliances, security issues, and all that. And security, is like a stitch in time could save nine, and there's no limit to it. Somebody can give your uh, you know long before long back, somebody said, so why should I invest in encryption?
Mhm.
The lady was told by his boss. The lady returned, and it was going in plain text. And I'm talking of, Stone Age, 20 years back.
Right.
So, because I'm a network guy, I remember this. Then lady came back after some time and put an envelope in front of his boss. And he says, what is this? I said, just open it. And he opened it and he saw his username and password for the bank account because it was going in plain text. She just proved it from the wire using whatever technology she had. So he said, "You got my bank password, username and password, so you can withdraw money, do anything." He said, "I can do anything." So then they understand the importance of encryption. If it was
Mhm.
encrypted, it would be difficult for the hacker to do it. And similarly, the compliances is like, there are SEBI compliances, there are many other compliances. Food industry has their own, health sector has their own. There's molecular research people do for 5 years. They have then stress testing or whatever they call it, regression testing of the molecules in IBM P950 or kind of servers, that can only do that kind of research work and all that. So you just can't imagine kind of cost involved as you grow, both on a compliances side, from a testing side, getting ready, because nobody gives you even an inch. The government also will like you to produce the best. If you have to, you can't have said that, okay, this is good for the mouse, not for human. No, it is meant for human. Humans should be able to consume it. So to make it safe for for our health authority, you got to go all the 9 yards. If you are in the business of providing healthcare or whatever, you have to have HIPAA regulations. So you have to save 9 years of data or 7 years, whatever. And so your storage, whether you like it or not, your storage cost goes up or whatever. So I'm saying there are not only technology complexities, storage, this, that, and all that. So it just adds up. It's
Mhm.
very costly affair, becoming a founder of a idea, whatever that you want to be. So you need to have what do you call the heart for it. That is why there's a heart wrenching work in the beginning, building a brand, and then after that there are emotions. You will be surprised to know that many of the founders after receiving fund are threatened and all that because they haven't been uh, and those investors are what you call that toxic or whatever you want to call it. I mean, nobody can say who is toxic here because he was shown a different picture and now the picture is different or whatever. So this is not for the weak-hearted. It's a very it's a very complex job that you're doing, and it's not easy, and I can assure you that.
Right. So you highlight real-time conversations in your platform. How is that different from usual cold emails and pitch decks floating around?
So Imran, just to add a little bit on the previous point. So at some point, when you are past this seed stage, you need to have mentors, advisors, and you will need deal makers and very good, smart people because you may not be aware of HIPAA regulations. You may have built a
Mhm.
product in the healthcare industry, but you don't know many things about it. So you certainly need at a later stage. So that is why it is very important to have the repository of those people, and that is the reason for Fund India. So you can't have it on a flat file. You know what I mean? WhatsApp and all that, or
Yeah.
different groups. You still would not know which group this person is. But here it's you just announce to the whole world and somebody responds to you to help you.
No, absolutely. Having a subject matter expert from a particular area is definitely good for the business. I totally agree. I totally agree with that. So, how is your platform different from usual cold emails and pitch decks? Um, it says real-time conversations. Is that the
Yeah,
only USP, or are there more unique selling points?
yeah. I mean, tomorrow's world, there won't be an email, right? I mean, people are predicting there won't be email or any of these things. You may, in the AI-driven model, you will be like real time talking to either a bot or someone, and they will solve your problem or escalate it to people. There won't be any email actually.
Mm, mm,
Email will be thing of past, and that is why forward looking 10 years down the line, I believe that in the deal room we will have an AI which is going to be as complex as perplexity or any of Gemini or any of these AIs, and it will have like it will collect data on the startup systems, who is a company which can prepare your cap table and all that, and it will aggregate all that information for you. So it will even more, we will add more complexity, and that's why we are raising fund. I have in my mind a method of triangulation by virtue of which I can actually, uh, so now we are broadcasting to people and people should contact you, right? But then people missed the message or came back a little later, although it will not happen because you are putting on their message board, right? One-to-one chat, so they will definitely get it. But then there will be a method of triangulation that we are building by virtue of which you will exactly out of those 5,000, you will lead the 40 guys. So your search is reduced, your effort are concentrated, but then you cannot discard this rest of the people also because since it is a complete black board, you don't know a black box, you don't know who will invest. So the point I'm trying to make is that we are going to make it easy. We're going to make it targeted, and we are making a lot of this discovery slash focused search to help you get your funding and shorten your journey of search and quick engagement. And then we learn from that data, for this particular industry, this was the algorithm we use that we are successful. So we'll make it even more faster and quicker. So email, as I said, cold emails and those areas, those days are gone. They
right.
will be gone in the future.
Okay. Okay. So one
And
of your
and and who will fight those battles, as I said in the beginning, that going into spam, people not responding, somebody saying, please unsubscribe me. For heaven's sake, don't send me anymore. And your staff may send again because it's there in the database. So you're irritating people rather than helping your cause. So the future is about reaching out in a broadcast manner or a unicast manner or in a multicast manner, which we used to have in the network world. And the same will be implemented here, but this would be a layer above some kind of community or whatever. And those are the groups that we will evolve. And more data comes out of this, we will get a clear picture of where we want to be. But we know that there are three, four things by which we can triangulate and get you the focused investors for this area, because people who join in will tell what interest they are. And then we will
okay,
use those to connect people.
right. So you also talk about diverse funding opportunities. What does that mean for a founder sitting in a tier two or tier three or regional cities?
Yeah. So what is happening is, well, I didn't use this term, but I must have written somewhere. So you're using that from the website, but I know that you shared your Q&A. I didn't go through it so properly to the paucity of time. And I told you you can ask me anything. as well. But yeah, what I mean to say, and what I understand from your question is that, see, the technology created a democratic platform. So there was no, it removed the digital divide or the poverty divide also that we had. Anybody with a mobile today with access to technology, I still won't say that he has equal opportunities like the people in the well-off in metro areas, if you are in tier two or tier three cities. But I believe that those who have grown with the mobile phones and have used technology, they're very today very good at that. I mean, we were not so good. We used to struggle to get a laptop to get our hands on it and then learn from there. So what I see tomorrow is that you'll have to have very broadcast model and what we call is inclusive kind of a platform where everybody can participate. So there is no tier three, tier four, or tier three or tier two here. I mean, it's a portal. Anybody comes in, as long as I have compute power and storage, people will just log in and they will say, I'm so and so from here, and here's my idea. If they don't want to share with everyone, then they have to figure out. And that is what the tomorrow's tool will be, that somebody says that I can't tell my idea to the whole world. So Sanjeev, can you provide me something? Then you say certain things, it goes to certain areas, only interested people will be there. But in this case, what we are trying to do is that we don't want, and somehow I don't know, I haven't figured this out. We don't want every person who is not in this space to come in. For
Mhm.
example, in LinkedIn today, you have people who will talk about politics, who will talk about other things. I may not be able to stop it because there's nothing to stop anyone. But I think that should be focused on these people's only. Even stock and all that I avoid because it
Mhm.
becomes a little bit of a nuisance that this is what you should do to become rich and all that. All that is not. I mean, here we are very focused on the startups and this, and it's free for everyone, and therefore it's free for the whole world. So anybody, the whole world is the target audience here. Whoever is launching a company really, and the whole world who wants to invest is, and then all you have to do is to figure out if you're in the US, then whether that entity has an office in the US or revenue generation capacity in the US. If you are interested, if you want your funds to be safe, and then you do some have checkpoints and all that. And if that happens, then you just work with him based on your legal laws of the land that you can enter into a deal using safe notes or whatever methods are there. So you're not stopping anyone. It's for the whole world.
Right. So a platform like yours requires serious technology and people support. What's been the hardest part to build? People, product, or trust?
Well, I built it on Wix platform. I built it on my own. I didn't have any support. I know a little bit. I integrated the payment gateway. When I built TD Ventures, I knew a lot on WordPress. I wanted to change it to another platform. Wix, I think, was in my mind. I could have gone with some other tools also, but I think when I built it around 6 months back, there were other tools, but I think Wix put me in good stead here. I mean, the way I see it, so I'm happy with it. Now they're implementing a lot of things. Sometimes it becomes more complex than this thing. So technology apart, so to me, actually, technology was easy. My problem has been people. I've had many good people coming in my life, and we thought we will do wonders, and then they get a job and then they leave me. And so the problem is, and even I get offers sometimes so luring that I can't shove them away, and they actually want me to help them or whatever. It starts with a help and then becomes an obligation also. So I have my own set of distractions in life. Other people who left me, they got such lovely offers. At least they never thought of it through me or through themselves that they left me. And I wish them all good luck. So on the people side, I haven't been great. I haven't had a co-founder yet, and that's the reason I'm asking for a co-founder also, as you know. But it is a solopreneur kind of environment. The co-founder may will have to be an AI kind of guy, technology, AI, triangulation, how to make that thing happen, more engaging. How can we protect interest? How can we connect more quickly? How can we shorten his journey and how to make an impact and all that? And digital marketing, and the third pillar would be that, I think. And the rest of the activities I anyway do. So the point is that for me, technology is the strength. People has been coming and going, so that's not a great area that I am in today. I would love to have good people work and build this. And what was the third one? Product you said? Yeah, we will build a lot of things. So there is a roadmap. I can't disclose it, but I have my mind very clear where I want to be, because I know many such companies are there, and I'm not intending to replicate them. But what I'll do is that I will connect some dots that they are missing and build it here.
Right.
When I have money, deploy a team and do that.
Right. So how do you ensure in the deal room investors actually engage and not just window shop startups?
Yeah, once you have paid 25K, um, you may be big or small, I understand, but after paying, you are going to make use of the 12 months that you have in hand. And we know that the funding journey is a typical 6 months journey. If you are engaged, I mean 3 to 6 months, let's say. And sometimes it happens in 3 months, but I'm rarely seen that happening. A lot of people claim that have happened. So 12 months is a good time, 6 months to discover and the 6 months to close. So, money itself plays a very important role in bringing seriousness to the table. And whatever happens in that deal room, like it happens in whatever happens in Goa stays in Goa. So it have whatever happens there in the deal room stays there. We are building some tools and technologies that you will use there. But the bottom line is that it's your job to, as I said, make updates, monthly updates. If you're in a hurry, fortnightly updates. Talk about new member joining in. What do they bring to the table for the company? And talk all the good things. Don't start posting, public posts from here, there. If that company became $1 billion, why not we? I mean, that's that's an hypothetical situation. You
Right.
talk about yourself
Right.
and tell your story. What are the new guys coming in doing? What a fantastic new product you launch. If you have some video of a robot dancing or whatever. I mean, it's your play area.
Mm.
So deal room is the mentors will get excited looking at that. They will themselves contact you, and you can contact them if you know that this guy is professor of robotics in IIT or whatever. And everybody is welcome. I don't know if they're allowed to participate in not, but I think they should be part of these forums. Any forum that allows them to give more and more training while they are professors of various institutions. But if they if they the problem today is that, and sorry, I don't want to pass any judgment on. So you'll have like an event in a hotel. The guys come in, they talk, exchange cards, and all are gone, and nothing happens actually.
Mm.
People may say, no, I did so much, but I haven't seen anything happening on the ground. Everybody's coming, having dinner, lunch, whatever is associated with that program. And then they have emails and all that again. So you still have to, I mean, so you once you pay or whatever is their method of managing it, you get in and then you connect with those people, and then it's the same email, right? Or connections. What is happening is you're not, you can, they don't, any of those I haven't seen, and maybe I'm wrong here. They might have, I haven't seen anybody can updates to all of them about your company that you're doing. And here it's so simple. You put that and it goes to everybody's mailbox. If they like it, they'll come and see it.
Right.
And
Okay.
people visit also on a regular basis, because I have a notification. Anybody who visits, either if he's registered, his name comes to me. Earlier, I had to approve him also. I removed that feature because I can't do so many people approval and all that. But I know that 12 people are there right now, or whatever it tells me on my mobile. So
Nice. Okay.
I'm aware.
Okay. So you're even offering predictive mergers and acquisitions tools under your premium service in your platform. How futuristic is this in the Indian venture capitalist ecosystem?
Oh, it will be very, very futuristic. I mean, it will be predicting, it will be looking at people's journey, seed stage or what stage, and it will be recommending them investors. or a similar kind of get company funded like that. So these are your options. So that kind of AI I have in mind. As I said, I can't divulge much, but basically it will be like proactively predicting the next steps for you while you are in the current step. And when I say predicting, it will be more of insight-based predictions from whatever data or the success stories. So that is why it will be talking, this AI will be talking like Perplexity or chat GPT and all that. It will be talking to the public world, and it will gather all the startups funding and areas of tech areas and all that, and take that as an input. And this guy's seed stage, or he already raised, or he's talking of raising for the next round, he will announce himself, right? His sector and his ticket size and his roadmap or the journey. And then it will connect that, and it will tell this is what happened, and to build a story around it and tell him that you can try this for you. So that kind of futuristic thing we are talking about here.
Amazing, amazing. So it would go for companies in the same sector, so that I think a bigger player might acquire a smaller player, so that they cover
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ecosystem.
M&A can happen. M&A can happen. And the founder is tired, he wants to exit, and there is another guy who sees value in the company. They can come in. Yes, it's all possible.
Okay.
You know about M&A, right? JT Fox and all that, those guys,
Right, right,
whatever
right.
they do.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of possibilities there. But what I'm saying is that even before there is an AI tool, for a lack of better word, I'll call it John, for example. He will tell you this is what is the world of possibility right now. You can get funding from SoftBank, and the reason it will tell you. So approach this man, even the email addresses or whatever. Or if he's on our platform, John Smith, it will point you to that. Contact this man, uh, John Smith, on your message board,
So
and
that
tell
was,
him about this, that I have been recommended by whatever tool we have. Let's call it for the moment Adam or whatever, Adam AI,
so I
whatever.
think that'll be a game changer for
That will be a game
that'll be
changer.
a game changer completely. Okay, very nice.
So that is what I meant when I said sometime back that it will really shorten your journey. With more and more learning this tool will have, both from a data standpoint, from the public domain, and it will triangulate your sector needs and all that, and the current state that you are in. And well, there are many. It will be very complex. That the way these things are actually. LLC, large language models and LLMs and all that, and it will have combination of that. And so I really want to build a great team. I really need a lot of money and support, but when I start to say that, people actually start to think a little bit about me. So that is why I'm a little guarded in the thought. But good that you brought these things up. So I really want to build a real AI predictive insight based. So while what you are thinking, the AI actually tells you the next day. For example, you're talking something, mobile starts to send for example, you want to buy a washing machine, it starts to give you advertisement about washing machine. So they're hearing us, right?
Yeah, yeah, right,
Whatever, I mean, right or wrong, they're doing it. So
right,
it should happen like that on the tool itself.
right,
So Fund India will tell you that, next you can try this. Now you're going to have cash flow problem. These are your possibilities, chances on the portal.
right. So
Yeah.
Fund India is affordable, convenient, versus expensive, inconvenient for your competitors. How exactly did you pull that off?
Well, competition is there. As I said, there are so many competitions. The competition is both from people organizing events and all that. But I think we are, as I explained, it is far more complex than those face-to-face. Face-to-face meeting has other things because you physically see a guy, and you have some kind of bonding with him, and which is very important in this because it's like a marriage, right? So you can do all the calling, long calls and all that, but at the end of the day, you have to meet the person. And here also, you can meet the person always. You can ask them to meet before you make up your mind. The point I'm trying to make is that it is it has its own easiness about it. There are no entry barriers. You just join in and you can talk about yourself. It could be utter rubbish. Uh, the moderator can tell you you can be a little better. You can make a PowerPoint or at least put some images to drive the message across. And you can see right now, most of the things that come from our side, Fund India side, from our staff, it's very structured. But some of the people have just written some extempore about an industry, and you have to go through it and read it. So the point is that over a period of time, it will become very smart and it will help people. And as I said, I don't have a uh, another tool like this to compare with, or if there is, then I don't know about it. But because I know that there are some people who are able to generate a list of investors for the kind of sector. So they are on a flat table, somebody's matching sector, ticket size, and
Mhm.
his stage with his founders, ask a sector and his stage. They're connecting them. That's all they're doing really. Or they're sending messages to all of those their own guys that somebody fills a form, then it gets a message and all. That's what is happening. But those are again, as I said, flat scenarios. In a 3D scenario, a lot of things happen. So as I was explaining, and I don't want to repeat that within the paucity of time we have. So when those starts to happen, I don't know if somebody is doing something like that. And I am thinking really out of the box. And I said, my you were asking me how did you get into this? I'm still not a investor or a startup here. And the 25 years of technology thing, when I know about IBM Watson, and I've
Oh,
worked with many
right.
AI tools. So I have some ideas as to what I can do with this magic. And even now, there's nothing more magical than some of these large language models, deep tech image recognition. The manufacturing industry is having its own set of stuff going on. So I think it's very easy to build, but it will be state of the art, whatever it will come up with. Because I won't settle for this smaller thing.
Right. So, do you think you're trying to democratize access over here? Do you see this as more of a business play or an impact play as a strategy?
I want it to be an impact play, but then obviously it's business. And so when you enter the deal room, and there may be other groups tomorrow, but I think everything will be under the deal maker because that is the reason for the deal room. And inside that, you can have a Adam tool, Adam AI. You can ask any questions or whatever. If you really want to meet top class mentors, then this tool based on number of mentors being rated. So we will have rating mechanism and all kinds of things that is going to happen, like any other tool to facilitate things. That's all. So while it will be the state of the art, it's not different from what others are doing, and that's what people want. Easy thing, but it will have everything, and it will interface with the public data. That's the whole point of this. So if there is an example, if there is a what do you call an example? For example, somebody is in the coffee business or somebody is in the chai business, and if for him the Starbucks is a good example, let's say.